two sets aren't going anywhere. Okay, they're still doing it. They're still very much alive. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the three. If you wouldn't mind, I would like to go through all of these examples real quick, just to make sure we understand, because they all have a bit of a twist to them. Like I didn't just randomly, like I actually had a specific purpose for at each one of them. So let's do the first one here. I'm just going to make sure. Tennis, racquetball, and squash, right? Oh yeah, that's right. I have to just set them. All right, tennis, 43 play tennis, 11 play tennis and racquetball, tennis and squash, squash and racquetball, and then there's the or, racquetball or tennis, squash or tennis. So the or is one thing I wanted to make sure you understood. Let's do just a Venn diagram here. So tennis, racquetball, and my third set, which is squash, right? And let's see if we can put the numbers where they belong and get this right. First of all, do they give us a universal? They don't. It actually asks for how many members are there. Regardless of what the question was, I would fill in what I know. Okay, so tennis is 43. 11 are tennis and racquetball. This is important, okay? So this section right here, which you're not going to put the number in here because it gets too messy. You put it out here. That is the important thing for today, okay? That's going to carry on with us. 7 play tennis and squash, so that would be in this intersection right here. So this should be 7 out here, okay? We're referring to this little section. 6 play squash and racquetball. Squash and racquetball. 6. I could give this one to you as an AC tomorrow and just change a few words and make this a different question. Let me prove this to you. If I had said, for example, 7 play tennis and squash, don't do this, don't copy this, okay? I'm just letting you know here. Squash, tennis and squash only. If you see only, or if you see tennis and squash but not racquetball, it means tennis and squash. Sorry. It actually means that 7 would go in this little section here. Okay, it would actually be written in there. But if it's just and, we're referring to this entire section here, you must put it outside. So it just completely changes the question just by changing a few words, okay? So there we go. So 4 play all 3, so that's very helpful if we have the middle. What about the 84 play racquetball or tennis? It is saying racquetball or tennis, like if you were to unite this, I'm going to use a color for this or a highlighter. This one here is saying that if we combine, if we perform the union of those two sets, okay? If you were to add up every single section between those two sets, it should add up to 84, which is going to help us later, okay? I'm just going to keep that for now, but this is saying racquetball or tennis, right? That's what this is saying. Then you've got squash or tennis. Squash or tennis. I'm going to use a different color for that one. The or, you can't just write that number in here. You just can't. Okay, you got to kind of have it on the side and then use it to figure out what's missing. So squash or tennis, let's make sure we get this right. It's these two here. You got to be creative. Okay. But if I were to add up all this section, which is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections in there, then I should get 68. Then I know I'm doing this right. Okay. And 4 play all 3, that's the very center there. Okay. So we're set up, we're missing some numbers, but But let's see what we can do. I'm going to use a red pen for what I'm filling in. What can I do? I can figure out this here, because if this all is 11, I go 11 minus 4, that's 7, right? Similarly here, if this whole thing is 7, this is 4, I just go 7 minus 4 is 3. Over on this side, 6 minus 4 is 2, which reminds me of something. Sometimes students solve this and they do great, but then they all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, they get like an 8 in here, but it's 6 out here. It's like, wait a minute, 6 minus 8, that's like negative, it doesn't work. You made a mistake. You got to go way back and see what happened upstream if that ever happens to you, okay? All right, we got that. Next, my attention is going to focus on the t, right? The t is just this circle right here. I know it's supposed to all be 43, so you can go 43 minus, right, 3, 7, and 4. And what is that? 29, sorry, almost. 29 is the number that is only, that only plays tennis, basically. Nothing else. They only play tennis, just that one sport, okay? Now you're stuck, but not really. You're not really stuck. But now the ors are going to come in and help you. So to get this section that I'm missing, watch this. I'm going to go 84. Okay, 84 is what I'm supposed to have all in this yellow highlighted section. I'm going to subtract 43. Right? All of this is 43. And I'm also going to subtract the 2. And I'm left with 39 in this section. So 39 only play racquetball. Oops, sorry. And now that you have racquetball only, you can focus on that racquetball circle, just add up all of these numbers and get 52, right? So the red is me filling in after I've done as much as I could based on the problem. Then you're going to focus on, I need this, right? And notice how I highlighted the or. Okay, it's between these two. So I know that all of this pink section is supposed to add up to 68. So I'm going to go 68 minus. You can go ahead and subtract each individual section, but I know that adds up to 43. So I'm going to go minus 43 minus 2. Okay, so that gives me 23. So 23 only plays squash. Okay, I eat squash. I don't play squash. S, you got to add up all of this. That adds up to 32. I'm just adding everything that's in this circle belonging to S. And so now I got 32 in there. And just when you think you're done, you need to figure out, are there outliers here? And the answer is no. Why? Because they told you each member of the sports club played at least one of them. So this statement, this guarantees, right, no outliers, because they're saying all of the participants that are considered here, they belong to one of this set. Nobody's outside playing none of them, okay? So that means that to find our universal, we have everything we need because there are no outliers. So you just add, okay? So to get the universal, the quickest way would be 43. Even quicker yet, the pink section is what? 68, right? So you can actually go 68 plus 39. You would get the universal, right? So it's, or if you really like adding, you just add up every single number you've got. But it is 107. It's a weird number. I'm going to use a red pen here. 107. So there are no outliers because of that statement there, that everybody's in at least one of them. So we were guaranteed no outliers. So we can put a 0 here if you want. Doesn't hurt. Okay. So that's how we did that one. lots of moving pieces, but if you're careful, you should be able to do that. And now I can ask you, it actually did ask me how many members are there. There are 107 members. If you think about it, if it's a fitness club or like a YMCA, right? You kind of sign up to play one of those sports kind of thing that are available. So that's why there will probably be no outliers. Even though a lot of gym memberships, everybody gets on board in January, they buy memberships, and then they don't go to the gym anymore, right? So this is ideal. Okay. Anyways, next, example 3. We've got everybody playing at least one instrument. Don't get too used to this, okay? No outliers, that's what that is. No outliers. That is very actually unlikely that there will be no outliers. I would always check. Find the total number of students and use the Venn diagram. You know what? I think I'm gonna skip this one for now. I'm going to skip this one for now because it's very similar to the one we just did. So just because of time, I may not cover that one. But I was asked to do page 27. So that's the one we're going to do. Okay, a survey found that students liked the following movies. What percent liked at least one of the 3 movies? What is this asking us here in notation? We have Return of the Jedi, right? Jurassic Park, Twister. So it's asking us, basically, what's the union? Like, how many are in these 3 sets combined? Not worrying about the outliers, okay? Because it's percentage, what's the universal? 100%. So they don't even have to tell you that because we're talking percentage. There's only 100%. Could have been 20,000 people that they asked. We don't know, but percentage-wise, it's 100. So let's do the Venn diagram. And we've got, I'm going to call this Return of the Jedi, that's 60%. Jurassic Park is 40%. And Twister is 30%. Has 30% of respondents in it, okay? Make sure you put your box around it. And I'm not asking you a whole lot of questions yet based on the Venn diagram, but that's the next step. Universal is 100%, no problem. Let's go back to what they're giving us. 30% liked Return of the Jedi and Jurassic Park. So they like R and J. So that would be, because it's the and, that's 30% is out there. 20% liked R and J and Twister. Sorry, Return of the Jedi and Twister. So these 2. So that is out here. 15. No, sorry. 20, right? My bad. 20%. 15 like Jurassic Park and Twister, so these 2. Because it's and, we gotta write it outside there. 10 liked all 3. So perfect. If you get the middle, guys, it's usually, I wouldn't say it's a piece of cake, but it's a lot less work. So now you work your way out. If this is 15, this intersection, then this is 5, right? If this is 30, you have to go minus 10, that's 20. And over here, if this is 10, then this must be 10 because it has to add up to 20. Perfect. Now you focus in on one of these sets. So 60 minus 30, 40, so this is 20% because it has to add up to 60. This one adds up to 40, so this is 35. This has to be 5%. This is 30. So you've got 10 and 10, that's 20, 25, which means that there's 5% left over, right? You subtract these 3 from 30 to get that 5. And just when you think you're done, you got to check for outliers. So I'm going to do that outside here. Outliers. I'm going to take my 100%. I'm going to start subtracting. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to take away 60. I'm going to take away 5, 5, and 5. Why not just 15, right? I know. It's so you can see later like what happened, right? So it's these 5 that I take away. So you're taking away everything from the universal to see what is left over. So this would be 75. So 25% is left over. So now if you add up everything, it should give you the 100% that you want. But now let's answer the question. What is the sum or the union of all 3 sets? Well, I like the take 100, subtract the outliers. So it's 75% liked at least one. Let me move this up like that. What if I asked you how many people liked exactly one movie? Let's add that here. People who liked exactly. Let's go exactly and then put a spin on it. We'll put ... one movie. We'll figure that out. 2 movies. We'll figure that out. If I wanted to know how many people liked exactly one movie, where would I go? Which numbers would I add? 5, 5, and 20. These people only like Return of the Jedi, 20%. 5% only like Jurassic Park, and 5% only like Twister. So these 3 sections would give you the answer to that one. So I'm going to actually write out the numbers that I'm adding. Please do that as well, because even if your Venn diagram is completely wrong, if you answer consistently, you still get the marks for the parts that follow, okay? How many liked exactly 2 movies? Where would you go for that? If it's exactly 2 movies, then it's 5, 20, and 10. If it's exactly 2, right? So this, because these 20 like this and this, but they do not like Twister. Okay, that's what these 20 are representing. So they liked exactly 2. So we got to add up 20, 5, and 10. 20, 5, and 10. That's 35. Oh, you can't see that. Cameraman, come on. 2 movies is 35. Okay. I wouldn't mind adding some color if you'd be all right with that. You can do whatever you want at the end of the day. But exactly 2 movies, I got those from there. Okay, so if you ever look back in your notes, where did you get that from? And exactly 1 movie, I added up these 3 numbers right there to give me the 1 movie only. This is the one that throws a lot of students off. What if I said number of students that liked at least 2 movies? At least 2, so 2 or more. What would change to the 35? What would I have to include? Jasmine? Add the 10 in the middle. Yeah, add that 10 in the middle, because those are the people that liked all 3. So if it says at least 2, you add up the exactly 2s, and then add up the middle yet to get at least 2. So it's 2 or more. You're giving me a headache, Mr. Erickson. It's not cool. Okay. Now we're going to do the other type where you need to use pi. Actually, you were using pi, you were just using it in a different way. The principle of inclusion and exclusion is what you were using when you did these, okay? It's like kind of like a law that governs Venn diagrams. Let's go to 28. And I'm going to stop this video here.